So, this is just a stream of consciousness. I felt the need to come on here and talk. Doing my usual get out in nature, balance myself, balance my mind. It's something I do on a regular basis, probably once a week, if not more. Just take a little walk and find a quiet place and get my head together. It's good therapy, and it's a luxury for some, for sure. But since I live up here in the mountains, it's fairly easy for me to do, and quite necessary, actually. It's one of the reasons why I moved up here from the city. So, I may ramble a little bit, but again, I just feel the need to speak. And I've been quiet for a very long time on my opinion on things and what's going on in the world. And before I go any further, I'm doing my best to be mindful and considerate, but also honest. So here goes. I came out here to find quiet, and I kept hearing noises from the outside world. And it just kind of struck me how, number one, how precious silence is, sitting with your own mind. Nobody's there to influence your thoughts. Hopefully you pull away from social media, which I usually don't do this. But again, I felt the need to. And a word that just keeps reoccurring in my brain is balance. Balance. It's an incredible thing, and it's something that we all need. But how many of us really get it in this society and what we've been going through? I feel like, there's like a mini civil war going on with people, and it doesn't have to be that way. I just feel like we have allowed a narrative, one or the other, to really command us and rule us in our minds. And I believe all that is definitely based in fear. Fear has become the virus, in a sense. And this is not in any way, shape, or form to discredit the people that have passed away, the families that have dealt with loss. That is real. Whether or not they have been misdiagnosed with a disease, or if it's COVID or what have you, I don't know. I don't think anyone really knows that stuff. We can speculate, and we can read and research what we deem as fact, and do our best to make judgment calls based on our guts and our instincts and where we come from and what we've been through. So, you got people on the other side who don't believe it, who feel like it's a huge scam, there's a huge agenda, something going on, and it's affecting our society, it's affecting the working class, it's affecting small business, it's affecting arts and entertainment, but it's also affecting humanity. So how do you find the balance between these polarizing point of views, these opposing point of views? Where's the middle ground? Where do we find logic? Where do we find discussion? Where do we find the desire to overcome things together? Because that's the only way things get solved, if everyone's on the same page. And in history, there's been revolutions, there's been things that are going on now in the world where it's a bunch of people polarized in one thing and they're trying to create change. And those people believe with all their hearts they're doing what is right. And I've sort of been of the opinion of just really trying to observe all of it, take it all in, listen to it, and then, again, balance, push it away, and allow my brain to sit with the information that I've gathered and process it. And it's taken me a long time to really even want to say anything about it. So my call and this whole reason I'm here talking right now, I'm just asking people to try to find some balance. Try to find silence in your brain, in your life, to get away from everything you're reading and seeing on the internet. And just allow yourself to breathe and be calm, and allow your mind to catch up to itself. Allow the sadness to roll over you, the anger, whatever it is that you are pushing through every day, and possibly even running from. There's a lot of people numbing themselves and running from how they feel or what's going on or what they think is going on. And thankfully, I'm at the stage in my life where I'm not numbing myself anymore. And it's been hard. You know, I'm not sober, but I'm in control of myself, and I don't allow myself to get crazy anymore like I used to when I was younger. And that's been difficult to navigate because you have to sit with your feelings. You have to learn who you are without that vice. So that's been incredible for my brain, and it's helped me grow a lot. But it's also made me realize that sometimes I don't need to speak. Sometimes you just need to observe and let things marinate in your mind, and then sort of come up with an educated opinion of how you should push forward with your life. And I found myself in the middle looking at the extremes of what's going on with COVID and the shutdown and masks and no masks, and it's just a real lack of balance, understanding, empathy, wanting to know why the other person feels that way, having a discussion where you can sit and talk. And you know, it's hard because most of our discussions are happening on the internet. They're happening via text, they're happening via, you know, comments and message boards or whatever the case may be. I don't know who uses message boards much anymore, but anyway, so you're not getting this face-to-face interaction, and when you do talk to people, they're missing this part of their face, you know, if you haven't been able to like be near these people because of what's going on. So there's a severe lack of communication going on in humanity. Body language, pauses, the way the eyes look, there are a lot of things that help you understand another person. It's your bullshit detector. You know, there's a reason why you learn to trust people or untrust them or be skeptical of their behavior, and that's a lot to do with obviously reputation, but also the way that they are. You know, you pick up a vibe when you're around people. And I'm super sensitive to this, and this is why sometimes I'm a bit of a hermit when it comes to certain things. But man, do I miss it now. But you can even smell something on a person and your brain reacts a certain way because we're using our senses. So we are deprived of certain senses, and it's deprived of, it's deprived us of communication and our way to like figure out where someone's coming from or what's going on. So I think that has made a lot of division and a lot of arguments and a lot of frustration. And I get it, but I have a hard time jumping in that pool and being a part of it when I'm standing in moments of contemplation in my own life, dealing with my own demons, dealing with my own setbacks and hardships. And it's really made me realize the power of our minds, the power we have to take control of what we think and what we feel. And there's a lot of control happening. There's a lot of agendas and swaying and plucking of heartstrings and manipulation going on that is so well done that it's captured the hearts and minds of people all over the world. And, you know, our media is now so censored. So even if there was something going on, like a revolution somewhere, or, you know, people who are going back to normal after properly, you know, quarantining and doing a thing in COVID, there's an agenda going on and there's censorship going on, and it's hard to tell what is what's really going on, and I think that's also part of the problem. So we need more discussions, we need more understanding, we need more conversations, but they're so hard to have in the society we're living in right now. So that's kind of where my frustration lies, is, you know, the deeper thoughts of what's really going on. And looking at numbers, looking at facts and figures, looking at charts, reading articles, all that stuff is good to gain knowledge, right? Knowledge is power. But what I feel is being neglected is wisdom. And wisdom comes from experience. And experience is something, again, we have been very deprived of as a human race. So I feel like we're kind of spinning our wheels, we're stuck. So whatever narrative you're believing, whether it's left or right or conspiracy or, bootlicker, whatever it is. Be open to the fact that you may not be 100% right. Be open to the fact that you probably have something to learn about somebody else's experience. And again, that's hard to do on the internet, but man, we fucking need that shit. We need to really start listening to each other and coming to a more sensible and logical way to move forward somehow. And we have a lot of hypocrites in government on both sides. Everybody's a hypocrite. And it's really hard to find, to stand behind somebody and go, that guy's us for us. And I'm surprised that people can do that with anybody right now. It's surreal, really. It's surreal. And we're living at a time now where intelligence and critical thinking is made fun of. It's looked down upon. People are ostracized for it and made to feel less than or crazy because they're questioning the government. They're questioning the narrative. They're questioning. And don't get me wrong, there are people who are abrasive and aggressive and rude and ignorant and not considerate, but the bottom line is we need to be questioning more. You can't sit extreme on one end or the other. If you don't have balance, you're not seeing the big picture. You're only seeing a small portion of this very big picture, this very big story that we're living through in real time. And again, a lot of people need to pump the brakes, get to a place where you can sit still, breathe, catch up to yourself, and find a way to move forward with more sympathy, more empathy in your heart, more wisdom. You can gain as much knowledge as you can, whether it's reading facts and charts that you've been given by somebody or some other human has taught you, or books. Those are all great, but that spiritual well-being, that spiritual connection we have, the eyes to the soul, the way the face works, the way the body works, the way somebody breathes or looks or blinks or smells, that stuff is just gone right now. So we're all broken, and I'm, pun intended, we're all broken in some way right now, and we're hindered by what's going on. And again, I know there's so much desperation right now, and I'm grateful that I am able to have the basics that I need to survive. It hasn't been easy, but my story is nothing compared to what's been going on for some people. The desperation, the tragedy, the sadness, the depression, the loss of life, the loss of income, the loss of family, friends. Friendships are splitting up, marriages are splitting up. We're in a rough spot right now. And I just do my best every single day to wake up with gratitude in my heart and to push forward with good intention and a desire to push past all of what's going on. And lately I've just been sitting with it and accepting it. And not in a defeatist sort of way, but just realizing that this period of our lives, this chapter of our lives is not going any quicker than we want it to. I wake up in the morning and I expect to see something different, some good news, something has happened and there's a move forward or whatever, and it's a lot of the same stuff. So I think I have probably rambled enough, but I feel good. I feel like I just spoke my mind, and I'm sure people are going to talk shit, people are going to get offended, but my intentions are pure. I truly just wanted to speak on how I feel, maybe give a little bit of advice as to how you could change your perspective or broaden your horizons. And my deepest sympathies to anybody who's lost somebody. My sympathies to people who are having hardships over their businesses closing, etc., etc., etc. My heart is heavy, for sure. But I also have hope. I have hope that there are enough good people that care enough to try to find a resolution to this one way or another. And I don't have the answers. I don't. I can tell you what I think and I feel about certain things. But at this moment right now, where I'm sitting and how I feel, I believe that would just be semantics. the main point is just asking for people to just be a little more compassionate, have a little more heart and humanity as we interact from a distance with each other. And I love this. My mother always says this to me. It's not just socially distant. You're physically distant. There's a distance there, and I think it's even a spiritual thing. It's like there's a gap between all of us as humans right now, and it's being filled with information, disinformation, agendas, political stuff, violence, all the stuff that's distracting us from coming together and being more aware of what's going on, what's really going on. So what is really going on? I don't have that answer. I do know that I'm an artist, so I turn to my music, I turn to my words, I turn to what I'm good at. And that's definitely not public speaking. And I'm definitely not a politician or a preacher and never will be. So I just do my part. And some people say, don't talk politics, shut up and do your job. Well, I can't do my job right now for the most part, number one. And number two, politics affects everybody everywhere. Everyone has a right to speak, even if their point of view doesn't make any sense whatsoever, or is steeped in, backwards racist ideology. We can still talk about it. And that's the thing, we just have to start talking to each other like humans, having a conversation instead of arguing and bickering. And that's just where we are right now. And that's my 2 cents on it. I'll try to check in with you guys at some point. I've got a lot of stuff moving forward. But for now, I'm just asking you to think, be meditative, find clarity somehow. And if you're doing something and you're getting the same results and you think it's going to change, we all know that's the definition of insanity. So maybe change your routine, change your way of thinking, see the bigger picture, and try to meet people halfway. And we'll get through this at some point. We have to. We have to. So I guess that's it. That's my rant for the day. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far, 17 minutes. Appreciate it. And I'll try to do more of this type of stuff, maybe bring more opinion into it. I don't know. I'm trying to stay humble and stay open. And I hope this finds all of you okay, strong, well, in good spirits, with hope in your heart, or at least strength to get through these dark times. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. Take care of yourselves. Happy holidays if I don't talk to you before then, which I probably will jump on here at some point before the holidays, but that's it for now. All right, stay tuned for more fun music stuff and whatever else I can muster up. All right, everybody. Bye.